Hey everybody, Wayne here with Full Sail Marketing. Today I want to go over with you guys the beginnings of Facebook advertising, and that specifically is how to boost a Facebook post. So Facebook advertising can be a pretty daunting task, I think, for a lot of contractors. At least it's something very new, but you know, don't make it out to be such a high and mighty thing. If you can really change your mindset and be willing to play with it, you can see a lot of great results. It's not very expensive, so don't worry if you mess something up. You're not going to do very much harm in the long run, especially, if you're testing things out pretty slowly or pretty gradually, I would say. No, I'm going to go ahead and advise you to not put $100 a day into a random ad because that could have a pretty big impact. But if you start slower, $5, $10, even $20 a day into an ad can be very, very beneficial for your business. So let's go through exactly how to boost a Facebook post. This is what I would say is the beginner level of Facebook advertising. So you want to go into your business's Facebook page. I'm going to be using a Facebook page of Joe's contracting business. It's a page that I just made just for an example, okay? So first thing, when you boost a post, it's literally a post that you've currently already had. So before we go into actually creating it, a really nice way of knowing what post you should boost is look through the past things that you've actually posted. What's performing well? What has a good amount of likes, comments, or shares on it? That content is already popular. People are already enjoying it. So now you have a better idea that if you do boost that post, more people will also enjoy it. More people will also interact with it. So I recommend not just writing a post and then immediately hitting boost. Once you have a post that already has some traction, go ahead and use that for a boosted post. Just for an example, I'm going to go ahead and start from the very beginning. So once you get onto your business's Facebook page, it's like any other post that you guys do, whether it's on your personal Facebook or on a business's. Near the top, you're going to click into write something. Let's go ahead and make a post. It's getting on springtime. So let's first ask a question to get some engagement. How about, have you thought about updating the exterior of your house to get ready for warm, beautiful weather? Question mark. You thought, GHG, have you thought about updating the exterior of your house to get ready for warm, beautiful weather? Or let's change that. Let's do any ideas for upgrading your deck or patio to get ready for the warm, beautiful weather? Joe's, not this is Joe's. We have a wonderful gallery overflowing with fun ideas. Check it out now. And then we would put a link after that. Great, so I'm saying, any ideas for upgrading your deck or patio to get ready for the warm, beautiful weather? We have a wonderful gallery that's overflowing with fun ideas. Check it out now. Link here. Now we're going to want an image with that. I'm going to get an image just off of Google for an example, you're always going to want to use an image that you have permissions to use. You can use royalty-free sites if you don't have your own. A great site that we use pretty often at Full Sail is called Pexels, and you can just go to the link that's right here in the blog post. But for just an example, I'm going to just save an image off of Google, upload that image, just like any other image, into the post, and then we're going to hit publish. Now it's going to give you the option to boost a post immediately, but like I said, you want a post to be out there a little bit, see if your current audience already enjoys it before you actually send it out to everybody else, before you push it to the masses. Great. So now that you have a post, ideally you've selected one, created a new one. Now it's gained a little bit of traction. It's almost that testing phase. The next thing that you want to do is actually boost the post. Now, boosting a post is really simple. You're going to go below it. You're going to hit the boost post button. And what essentially it's going to do is it gives you just the basics of a actual full-fledged Facebook advertisement or a Facebook advertising campaign. So depending on what you wrote in the post, you're going to want to first off select a post button. Now it's optional. You can run an ad really just to get your name out there, really to just get exposure. But most of the time you're going to want a button in here. So the options are shop now, book now, learn more, sign up, send message. Then you can also send a WhatsApp message just because, Facebook bought WhatsApp. But for this, we're going to go ahead and just do a learn more button. You wouldn't even necessarily need a button in a post like this because you have the link there. So it's up to you. I think the advantages of having a button are pretty great. It's a really nice call to action. But if you are looking for more just that branding and exposure feel, then try it without a button. It's going to look less like an advertisement for sure. Next thing, you want to choose a link to where that button goes. Now, don't link it to your homepage. That's a mistake that a lot of people make early on. You want it to be as specific as possible. So in this example post, we said we have a wonderful gallery that's overflowing with fun ideas. So I'm going to have it go to joescontractingbusiness.com/deck and patio ideas. Okay, that's fake, but you obviously would want it to go to a real site that is relevant to your post. Like I said, don't send it just to your homepage. Make sure that it's as specific as possible. Great. The next thing you want to do is delegate your audience. If you have never made an audience before, check out my previous post on actually how to create Facebook audiences. It goes through saved audiences, custom audiences, and lookalike audiences for you guys' benefit. So you really want to start there. But for this sake, let's pretend that you guys have never made an audience before. So we're going to hit edit. So we're going to edit the actual audience. Now, if you have a good idea of who your clientele is, you can do it right here on the screen. Like I said, I recommend that you go ahead and do it beforehand, but let's go through it. So our audience for this post is going to be equally men and women. We're selling to homeowners, so we want to set an age range of a little bit older. Let's go ahead and do 35 to 65 plus. We're a local business, right? So we're going to go ahead and put our location. Should have put your location, and then however wide of an area you cover. So I'm putting Charlotte, North Carolina, and a plus 50 mile radius around. Now, if that's not quite big enough, then you can go ahead and select another city that you work in, and you can have as many as you want on here to target. But make sure you're really only targeting the location that you work in, or else it's going to somewhat be a waste of money. Because those people, even though they're getting a great idea of who your brand is and they're coming to your website, they're not your potential customer. And so that's who we're really targeting. After you select your location, you want to go underneath of the map and detail a little bit more. So now all that Facebook knows is the age and the location, correct? So now you want to think about who is your ideal target customer for this post. It's warm, it's patio, it's fun loving. So maybe let's type in like an interest like family, people family interests. Now, once you have one thing really in there, Facebook has great suggestions. So I think parents is a pretty good one, just because parents, families, they like to spend outside or time outside in their backyards. Let's look here. If you click on browse, it'll give you a bunch of different segments, demographics, interests, behaviors, and more. You can actually pick people based off of their income as well, if that's something that's relevant to your business. But just for argument's sake, right now, I'm just going to go ahead and pick another interest. Let's go to hobbies and activities, home and gardening. I'm going to select do it yourself, and let's do gardening as well. So this now is telling Facebook that we're looking for people who are both men and women in the age range of 35 to 65 plus, who live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they must match at least one of the following. They're parents, they're a family, or they have interests of do-it-yourself and gardening. Now, Facebook is really great about telling you the size of your target audience, and it's going to tell you whether it's too broad or too specific. So right now we're seeing for this audience that it's pretty defined. It's telling us good job, and it's an estimated audience size of just over 800,000 people. Now, obviously, not all those people are going to see it. It's just the available people to see it based on how much money you're actually spending. Great. So hit save. Now, after you've defined your target audience, the next thing that you're going to want to do is set your total budget. I'm going to suggest to go ahead and start on the lower side. It's really only a $1 minimum per day, but that's not really going to target or touch that many people. It's not even going to give the option or availability for a lot of people to interact with your ad. So I suggest at least $5 per day. That's going to get it going, give you a really nice test, especially if it's a new post that you're sending out that you're not sure is going to be successful. So start at either $5 or $10 per day. You can always increase it after that. So we're going to say $5. This post is specifically based around warm, beautiful weather. So we can have a little bit longer duration if we wanted to. Just make sure it's relevant. If you're talking about a specific date, specific event, make sure that you're only boosting around that specific date or event, okay, that time. So select your duration right after you select your budget. We're going to go ahead and do 7 days. It's telling us that there's a minimum budget of $1 per day, and we put in our total budget here. So what we're going to want to do is go ahead and increase that 7 days, $5 a day. So we're going to go ahead and make it $35. Great. The last thing, if you want to, you can select a Facebook pixel if you have it set up. I don't have one set up for Joe's contracting business yet. It's only for a past company that I've set up. So if you select a Facebook pixel, you're going to be able to see a lot of the statistics on who exactly is interacting with your ad and how they're interacting with it. So set that up. If you haven't before, go ahead and follow this link to the page. And that's really it. So just to wrap it up, now we've sort of seen that we have this very specific post that our audience is really going to enjoy. We've made sure that the post button, the call to action, is relevant. We made sure that it's linking to, once again, a specific relevant site. Our audience is well and defined, and then our budget and duration is set up for the ad. Now that you're ready, go ahead and you just click the boost button. Great. So now your ad is running, it's being boosted. If you ever want to check in and see how it's doing, up at the top of your Facebook business page, there's a tab that says promotions. Inside of that is going to be the actual boosted post. And it's going to be really, really simple statistics and analytics based on how well it's performing, how many people are seeing it, and how many people are clicking on it. It'll also tell you the likes, comments, and shares in that area as well. Really simplified version. So that's about it, guys. That's the entirety of, I guess, the beginner level of Facebook advertising, of how to run a boosted Facebook post. But if you have any questions, please make sure to reach out to us, as we'd love to help. And like I said, there's a lot of resources in here. Make sure to check them out as well. Thanks, guys.